Just as it's important to know that emotions are information, it's also just as important to know that they're only one source of information. Sometimes we can end up thinking, because I feel something, that means it's true. Or because I feel something, that means I have to act on it. Because I feel something, that means it's the way it is, and everybody knows that. Whereas they're only one source of information. There might be a lot of other information we need to balance them out with. There's the quote, I think, therefore I am, but sometimes we can think, I feel, therefore I am. But that's not the case. Think about this. One of the things that I tend to have a little bit of fear about is diving, because I had a diving accident when I was in high school. So if you were teaching me to dive and you were a diving coach, and I knew that I was afraid of diving, but also knew that you were out for my good. You weren't there to sabotage me in some kind of way. You were a legitimate diving coach. And so you told me, look, Margaret, nobody's around who's going to jump in on top of you. The water's plenty deep. And look, if you jump out past this certain point and kind of point your hands and let your head and your body follow, everything's going to be okay. Well, I know that I might have a sense of fear, but I would need to balance that with knowing that you are out for my good and knowing that you're qualified to do what you're doing and that you're there to help me. It helps me have balance. It helps me not give into that fear and let myself be run by it. So I take the time to stop and acknowledge the fear and go, okay, fear might be telling me something here you need to pay attention to. There's something here that you might need to be cautious about. Okay, so I be cautious, apply that like awareness, but then there's a place where I can let that go, knowing that you're out for my good. When we apply that same thing to other areas of life, knowing that emotions are information, but they're only one source of information, it gives us the ability to act in a way where we don't have to be run by our emotions. And yet we can still acknowledge them, pay attention to them, and respond to them without having to drown them out.